Greetings. We are SOSA Engineering, your living shoreline protection specialists. Atkins Global has tasked us with creating a living shoreline to protect the northern seawall along Felipe Park in Safety Harbor, Florida. This will prevent future economic damages to the park and surrounding residential areas, as well as provide protection to a nationally recognized historic site, a Tocobaga burial mound. The design criteria presented for this project are that it must be an entirely green shoreline using minimal concrete or non-natural materials and cannot touch or alter the existing seawall. Full hydrologic and bathymetric analyses were performed, including the calculation of radio fetch data, synthesis of South Atlantic coastal study evaluations, and mean sea level datum. After visiting the site in October, the team drafted and presented 4 design alternatives to our client at the conclusion of the fall 2022 semester. Each of these designs took into consideration the wants and needs of project stakeholders while following all federal, state, and local ordinances regarding shoreline protection. The team used a Gantt chart to help organize ideas and anticipated project timelines. Ultimately, our second design alternative, consisting of cordgrass running parallel to the wall, with oyster bag breakwaters placed intermittently along the shore, was selected and modified to be our final design. We carefully considered the costs and benefits of our final design to ensure it was the most effective protection solution for its price. Living shorelines are often more expensive than their gray counterparts, but can offer additional benefits and require less repair in exchange for their higher upfront cost. We found local suppliers in the Tampa Bay area and determined pricing for our main elements, oyster bags, cordgrass, and sand, using their pricing. We also used data and recommendations from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission for average maintenance costs and planting prices. Some additional benefits provided by living shorelines include improved water quality, runoff filtration, encouragement of natural oyster growth, natural erosion prevention, and habitat enhancement for native species. This living shoreline design will also ensure no views from Felipe Park are obstructed and that boaters can maintain safety in the bay. For our design, the shoreline was split into 7 arbitrary sections based on their coastal features, shoreline bathymetry, and mean high water levels. Additionally, still water levels, significant wave heights, and sea level rise projections from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, known as NOAA, were used to ensure our solution's longevity. To better understand economic risks, the team considered flood risks to the surrounding area and historic hurricane impacts on Tampa Bay. Atkins provided survey data from the seawall for the team to utilize in drafting our drawing set. This data was edited and formatted into the existing conditions for the site. Our final design overview, as shown here, consists of semicircular oyster bag clusters acting as a natural breakwater. Planted cordgrass will act as an extra barrier between the seawall and oyster bags. This bedding provides additional wave energy reduction while increasing water filtration, slowing water transfer, and providing ecological benefits. The drawing set includes a to-scale plan of each of the 7 sections of shoreline, along with major elevation lines for reference. Section 4, as noted in the upper left corner of the sheet, is to be left undisturbed due to naturally occurring mangrove habitat. Sand will be added along the shore to create a 4x1 slope in accordance with local jurisdictions and recommended living shoreline standards. In order to create this slope, some sections of shoreline will require the existing sand to be dredged. The removed areas are indicated in red on the drawing sheets. To keep costs low, the dredged sand will be reused before any additional sand fill is brought to create the remaining slope. Costs for the sand fill, oyster bags, and cordgrass was given by Atkins as requested during bi-weekly correspondence. The oyster bags will be placed at the mean low water line, while the cordgrass will be placed at the mean high water line. This will allow for proper air and water exposure times for both elements to thrive. To ensure visitor safety, Waterway hazard signs will be placed along the shoreline to indicate the presence of breakwaters. These will prevent boaters from the nearby boat ramp from running into the shoreline, which could lead to injury and damages to both personal property and the new shoreline. Our design is anticipated to have a 10-year lifespan before replacement of elements or significant maintenance is necessary. Shortly after installation, it is recommended that the oyster bags are inspected to make sure they have not deviated from their intended positions, and some replanting may be needed to ensure the cordgrass has taken root and is effectively preventing sediment erosion. Ultimately, maintenance costs for the living shoreline are estimated to be 10% of the installation costs for the project, bringing the estimated total to $25,791.48. In summary, SOSA Engineering was tasked with designing a living shoreline by Atkins. This task was completed as a team using each person's unique backgrounds and skill sets for specific components of the project. Details of this project included completing a site visit and meeting with the client, addressing stakeholders, considering economic factors as well as environmental impacts, communicating on a regular basis with team members, the client, and mentor, as well as making judgment decisions about certain project details. Overall, SOSA was able to design a living shoreline for Felipe Park using natural elements such as cordgrass, oyster bags, and stabilizing sand to help prevent further damage to the park's seawall and to provide a pleasing aesthetic look to park goers. Thank you for your time.